Yes, everybody, it's Dave, and welcome back to Talking Wolves. We're back today for another transfer update. We've not done one of these in a while, but today I'm going to be going through all the latest rumours, my takes on them, what is actually going on at Wolves, and obviously the whole situation with players coming in. We're, the 11th of January, almost halfway through the transfer window, and Wolves yet to bring in a first-team player. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you go and check us out on the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram social feeds. To be fair, in my opinion, we're one of the fastest for giving those rumours and all the best quotes from interviews, anything to do with Wolves. So make sure you go and check us out on all of those. And obviously, we translate that and give our own opinions on the YouTube page. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like down below. Now, regarding the striker situation, obviously, it looks very, very unlikely now that Tammy Abraham is going to be coming to Molineux. We did a video last week as it looked very close, and then it took a bit of a turn at the start of the week. So Tammy Abraham isn't coming to Wolves, but one striker that definitely isn't going to be playing, it looks like it's going to be Leo Bonatini. Wolves are obviously, and it's fairly public that Wolves are looking for a new striker. So Leo Bonatini, who's not played since November, isn't going to get much game time. Now, over the last few days, he's been linked with PAOK, or P-A-O-K, in Greece. So the current league leaders there, and they've lost their talisman. The man in front of goal, their top goal scorer, has left the club. So they're in need of a striker. A media outlet in Greece reported yesterday that they were interested in Bonatini, and he was their #1 target. And then today, the same outlet reported that the club president is in London to start negotiations with Wolves. We've just had Tim Nash as well, who's a Wolves freelance reporter, report that Bonatini is going out on loan to an unnamed club. And I'm just adding 2 and 2 together here and thinking that Bonatini is going to end up in Greece. Now, I thought it would have been a loan deal before, obviously, it all went through, before the rumours came out. And I still think that's good for Wolves. I think the amount of money Wolves have invested into him is a good investment at the moment. And at the time, if anybody was interested in him now, I still think we'd make a profit on him. But we all know that there's a little bit of quality in Leo Bonatini. We saw that at the start of last season. And yeah, it's been 12 months since his last goal. But we all know he's capable of something. And I would be very surprised. I mean, this time last year, I'd assume 80% of us thought maybe he'd be a good Premier League striker. Obviously, his second half of last season hasn't helped our case there. But we all know there's that bit of quality. And if he goes to Greece, a team full of confidence at the moment, a team on the high, and he helps to start scoring goals, of course, we may get back a Leo Bonatini that's back, in goal-scoring form. So it definitely a player that I would like to see do well out on loan. Now, in regards to strikers coming in, Wolves and Fosun have always been very, very tight-lipped with transfers, especially since Fosun came in. So, for any English reporters to say anything, I think there's a bit of substance to it. Now, the only one that has been a little bit of a pain in recent weeks is the Sun, but we always know that they're not brilliant, especially with the whole Tammy Abraham thing. They've linked us to Meunier from Barcelona. They linked us to Francisco Trincao from Portugal. But anyone else seems to have a little bit of substance. I've always had issues with reports from Turkey and so on. A lot of them are agent-fueled rumours. Just getting a paper to report about a club just so a player gets a new contract or a wage rise or whatever. But one that I've seen today, which could potentially happen, is Josh Maja from Sunderland. Obviously, if you've seen the Sunderland Netflix documentary, he's on there towards the end of it quite a lot. But he's been linked with some Premier League teams, including Manchester City, ourselves, Crystal Palace were linked. Roy Hodgson said he'd never heard of him last week, but they're still quite heavily linked with him. He's bagged 14 goals in around 20-21 games in League One this season. Still very young, but I think it's the Mail that have reported that we're interested in him. Personally, I think if we were to bring him in, I'd be actually quite happy with that as a signing. As long as we brought somebody else in as well, I think him as a forward, a young lad, obviously scoring goals, that would be not a bad option. And I don't think it would cost a great deal of money to bring him in. Probably anywhere between £5, £6, £7 million, which for a young up-and-coming striker who actually is scoring goals, albeit in League One, is not a bad return. And one more transfer incoming that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to have to read it off my phone because I've never really heard much about this guy. It's the current Juventus left-back, Rogerio. He's currently out on loan at Sassuolo. If you've not heard of him before, join the club, because I'm pretty switched on normally with players, and I've not really heard of this guy. But it was probably over a week ago now, there were reports in Italy that we were interested in him. And then a media outlet called Tutto Sport had said we may rely on Jorge Mendes and his good relationship with Juventus to help us get the deal over the line. The same media outlet then reported yesterday that Wolves had made an €18 million offer for Rogerio, and it's going to be evaluated by Juventus in the coming days. Now, a couple of things with this one. The actual media outlet is Tutto Sport. I've never really seen them have a good return in regards to Wolves rumours. Again, another reason they may be doing that is because, again, of Jorge Mendes with Juventus. They're going to be linking it with Wolves again. However, Rogerio is a left-sided wing back, or, he's quite an attacking fullback, so I think it would suit that quite well. For me, I don't think I'll be surprised if Johnny stays next season. I think the situation at Atletico Madrid suits Johnny quite well in the fact that they've got an aging right back in Juan Fran. I think they're having issues with the left back with him maybe leaving. So Johnny sort of slips back in there. I believe we have a fee to buy on Johnny, although it's been reported that we don't elsewhere. I've heard a few things that we may do. But yeah, Rogerio, he's currently out on loan. So at the end of the season, this one may be one that we need to come back to in summer. He's definitely looking like he may be coming to Wolves, but who knows? And of course, a few players out on loan. Brighton Bakary has gone out on loan to Coventry. We all know Brighton Bakary is a player full of skills, tricks and potential, but he's not really giving it to us. He even had a couple of good games in the Championship last season. He went out on loan to Kilmarnock at the start of the season, and or St Johnstone, was it? Definitely a team in Scotland, and he's not done quite well. But he's back now in England at Coventry, quite local, so best of luck to him. And Ethan Emax Landell has gone to Rochdale, I believe. So it's a big chance of him. There's a few more under 23 players, like Dominic Orfer and stuff, that we're looking probably still to get rid of. But it's hopefully going to be a busy week for Wolves. There's not much rumours at all. Even Nuno said in his press conference that all rumours, he's not going to report on it. There's been players that we link with. Obviously, the older Origi rumours come back. But let me know in the comment section down below. Who would you love to see at Wolves this January? We're going to have some more videos coming up over the next week. Of course, if there's more transfer rumours, we'll address them as well. The Manchester City preview will be out in the next day or so as well. But before then, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully, Wolves grab 3 points against City on Monday. And I'll see you all very, very soon.